I remain convinced that the shoulder launched, the man-pad threat, which the regime has been talking a lot about lately. So in this particular case, we're talking about the Russian Igla. What do you think? I think it has the potential to be a significant threat, in particular the kind of low level, again, special operations type of extraction operation that the Americans might try at some stage. What do you guys think?
I was going to
I
say
mean,
my
it's,
initial thought. Oh, sorry, Hop. I was going to say
no, no,
my
please,
initial
David.
was in actual fact that the manpad is going to be the biggest threat within there, right? Because they're mobile. You don't, in actual fact, able to track where those 6 manpads have disappeared off to somewhere onto the side of a hill or somewhere like that. Your US is unlikely to have that sort of intel, but they would have the intel as to where those S-300s are, the books, and how they operate. And I've got to go. We're talking about, it was an airman Hop here who's going to tell us what's the threat or the fear of a threat of manpads as you're flying low level, a really low level, and you might be going up near to hills that could be filled with manpads.
Well, it's absolutely a threat, especially if you're talking, special forces operation that's operating with, either, front helos or even CV-22s, the Ospreys that are with the battle group, especially with the Iwo Jima and the San Antonio and the Fort Lauderdale, all the amphibious assault and transport ships that are down as part of this. If those were the launching platforms, or even the MV Ocean Trainer, and you're flying into the heart of someplace and looking to do an extraction, and Latin, correct me if I'm wrong, their stock is in the thousands of these, or even if it were just in the hundreds. That is a huge threat. And there is, as David pointed out, there is really no good sensing technique that can give you an accurate, up-to-date, minute-to-minute appraisal of what the threat is when you start flying nap of the earth, below the ridge lines. Somebody can be shooting down, shooting across a valley. There's no chance you're going to spot this, especially in the bird jungles that, are in northern South America. The threat is huge and difficult to mitigate. And I don't care how many IR sensors you have on your little bird or your CH-53, and how big a flare loadout you have. If somebody launches 3 or 4 of those things in a wave, in a semi-coordinated wave, one of them's going to get you. And the threat is huge, and the calculus on that is not good. That's why I think they would love, and I say the Maduro regime, I realize that it's a political machine. They would love it to collapse from pressure outside and not anything direct. I mean, their dream come true would probably be an Assad type departure for Cuba. But as far as,
put it this way, if either just before or during early stages of any kind of American action, not trying to be too dramatic here, but I mean this kind of scenario has played out in Latin America over the decades. Is if you see even a light combat aircraft of the AMB having a go at the Miraflores Palace in Caracas, that's an indication of something happening, which I don't think is out of it's possible, and it would be one of the scenarios the Americans would definitely want to see, of the military turn on the regime. And that's just simply a big unknown right now. It's very opaque. We don't know from the imagery that it's really hard to. Those of us who've experienced dictatorships know that you operate day to day to survive and hopefully thrive, and you don't show your cards. When the shit hits the fan is when you might finally show what you really think of the regime. But until then, you're going to keep it very close to your chest. I have one big takeaway at this stage where we are right now. In my time, Eastern time, North America, on the 16th of November, is that one of the clear signals that the Chavista regime has been sending clearly is that whatever the Americans intend to do, like you said, Hop, nothing is zero risk. And they intend to make it as painful as possible. And those of us who follow American politics and the mood of the American people after the interventions in Iraq know that even a low number of American lives being given up here have the potential to be very damaging for the administration, and that's clearly one of the things that's being balanced here. But as insofar as what the Venezuelans are able to do in an air war, I think we all agree that they will be swamped, but they will have the ability to hit back at some point, causing some damage, some potential human cost on the American side. And how that will play out, we will have to see.